No matter how you look at it, the YotaPhone 2 is definitely a hipster phone. It's interesting, quirky, just different, like that one friend that you have that stands out from the rest of the pack. If friends were phones, your hipster friend would be the YotaPhone 2. The first thing that catches your eye about the YotaPhone 2 is definitely its dual display. No, scratch that. Honestly speaking, that's about the only thing about it that catches your eye. And it's a damn good thing. On first look, the dual display presents an interesting proposition to the user. Which side do I lay it down? Traditionally, sure, that's fine. The reverse side works as well. We get to see a nice notification panel or a customized cover. Personally, it doesn't bother us much since the Gorilla Glass 3 on both panels works to protect it from any scratch threats. Alrighty, let's take a look at the primary display first. 5 inches, 1080p, AMOLED display. That's an all-round up from the first YotaPhone. We don't really have any complaints about that. Besides, AMOLED displays are all about deep blacks and vibrant colors, which makes it an interesting contrast to the secondary screen. A cool, greyish, matte-looking e-ink display stealthily located on the back of the phone. Big props to Yota keeping the size of the e-ink display at 4.7 inch, fairly close to the AMOLED display. Sure makes transitioning between the two screens a breeze. The e-ink screen defaults to displaying either the Yota cover or the Yota panel. Yota cover displays static or dynamic pictures on the back of your phone. Its purpose? Well, maybe to drive handphone cover accessory folks out of business? Nah, we kid. You can change your back cover images as and when you like, or even set it to dynamically cycle between pre-selected images. That's the upside. What's the downside? What if I like my handphone covers in color? Yota panels, on the other hand, it's a slightly more interactive affair, being a carousel of screens that host live updating widgets. Messaging, calendar, calls, pretty nifty stuff. And if you ask me, I'd say the best widget being the quick launch, where you can pick Android apps to boot immediately in Yota Mirror Mode. Which brings us to the standout feature, the Yota Mirror Mode. Pressing the Android home key and dragging your thumb to the left to select the Yota Mirror icon allows you to transfer full Android onto the e-ink screen. Ta-da! The e-ink screen is now a full Android interface, sparking off interesting potential users and abusers in our geeky heads. Here's one standout use that comes to mind instantly. Instead of selfie shooting with the 2.1 megapixel front camera, we can use the Yota Mirror Mode to take glorious selfies with the 8.1 megapixel rear camera. There's just a little niggle here. The camera preview in Mirror Mode is an unfortunate e-ink grayishness. Well, it makes it pretty hard to look at, especially in low light situations. But a quick check back in the gallery shows the selfie in all its 8.1 megapixel glory. Yeah, for sure, we'll do anything for a higher res selfie. A word of caution before you get all yeah hooray about the Yota Mirror. It's more suited for static activities, say texting, calling, looking at web pages. Anything beyond that requires a high refresh rate, say watching a video on YouTube or playing 3D games, and you're asking for an invitation into a humongous world of pixel pain. In other words, don't. Unless you want to recreate those good old days of playing games on DOS or the Commodore, then by all means knock yourself out. Like how we're knocking ourselves out by playing Crossy Road here. Ugh. You're definitely not buying the YotaPhone 2 for excellent build quality, awesome source camera modules, high-end specs, or even interesting apps. The YotaPhone 2, it's all about its dual screen, period. If you're the kind of person who digs having a smartphone / e-reader / I don't know, maybe just hate having just one cover on the back of the phone, the YotaPhone 2 might be the niche phone for a niche folk like you. Or maybe you just like having two screens on your phone.